Hey fellas, this is Rabbi speaking, and as you can see by this photo right here, we're going to be talking about Pluribus, or Plur-1-bus. Now we're just going to call it Pluribus. For those of you who don't know, which you probably already know because you've seen it advertised or on like the promotion photos, posters, whatever, this show is by the same guy who created Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Vince Gilligan. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. In fact, Better Call Saul is one of my favorite shows of all time. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again as long as I live, because Better Call Saul, like, there's no other television show that has ever reached the peaks that Better Call Saul did. And I know some people prefer Breaking Bad more, but I just think Better Call Saul it improves on the flaws of Breaking Bad. But, you know, Breaking Bad's still an amazing show. I mean, both of them together, they create one major masterpiece. And so Vince Gilligan decided that after Better Call Saul that he was going to call it quits on the Breaking Bad universe for now and just focus on something totally different, something sci-fi related, and of course that being Pluribus. Now, when I first heard he was going to do a show that was completely away from his like normal Breaking Bad universe, I thought, like, okay, let's see if he could do something different. I mean, it's kind of like similar to Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, where both shows, you know, are clearly completely separate from each other, but, you know, both of them are still good in their own ways. Some people prefer Yu Yu Hakusho more, including myself, and then you got some people who prefer Hunter x Hunter more. But people, when they first heard about him doing a totally different show that was not part of the Breaking Bad universe, people were pissed. They wanted more Breaking Bad spin-offs, like, oh, let's do The Rise of Gus, or let's do a show that takes place after Breaking Bad with Walter Jr. Like, they wanted those types of spin-offs. And I just think Breaking Bad is one of those shows where it should not be milked. I mean, I would be fine with another Breaking Bad spin-off. I mean, maybe someday, like 20 years from now or so, we could get something like that, but you know, Vince Gilligan is kind of burned out from Breaking Bad, and so probably just wanted to do something that was outside the box, and so why not tackle the sci-fi genre, or at least the mild sci-fi genre, where it's not too heavy on sci-fi like aliens or space battles and stuff like that, but it's just something that starts off a bit human, but evolves into something out of this world. And that's where Pluribus comes in. So, for those of you who don't know, Pluribus is about the planet Earth, where it gets taken over by this. It's hard to say what it is, because I don't want to say virus, because they did say virus, but then they kind of corrected themselves on that. So, there's this thing where, like, one day, like, most of mankind, they had this sudden change where their minds like join into one as a hive mind, and so everybody, like mostly everybody, is mostly optimistic. They share the same personality, like every single body. Like, say if you're walking down the street, there's a good chance you're gonna run to the exact same person no matter what body they're in, because to them each body is a vessel and not an actual person. So there's no individuality, if I pronounce that right, individuality. I can't pronounce that word, guys, I apologize, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, their identities are completely wiped, and they just go by we instead of I. Those are the pronouns that they use. When we look back at Breaking Bad, we see Walter White, who becomes Heisenberg, a man who went from being a teacher, a father, but diagnosed with cancer, and is desperate to make money, but then becomes a successful drug kingpin who makes a lot of money, millions of dollars, off of crystal meth, but also does really, really terrible things. Fast forward to Better Call Saul, and our main lead is Jimmy McGill, of course, who's this small-time lawyer who's struggling to make a name for himself, but then does all these con man things. He starts coming up with these schemes, gets involved with the criminal underworld, and grows to become Saul Goodman, the iconic lawyer that we see in Breaking Bad. Vince Gilligan is no stranger to anti-heroes and villains as the main leads. But is Pluribus the same way? Like, is the main character in that show the same as Jimmy or Walter for that matter? The answer is no. Absolutely not. Despite Pluribus being in a totally different universe from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, there are two things that Vince borrows from the Breaking Bad universe. One of them is the setting of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The other is Rhea Seehorn. You see, Rhea Seehorn, we all know, was Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul, the love interest to Jimmy. And so Vince decided, hey, how would you like to be the star of my new show? And that character is, of course, Carol. Now, what was Carol's life like before everything went abnormal in the world? Well, without giving spoilers away, Carol was a published author. She just published this pirate romance novel, something like that, and it was enough for people to come to these book signings like this one right here, as you see. Carol's pretty much living the dream life that I want as a published author. Hopefully someday. But anyway though, despite this success, it's not enough to make Carol happy. In fact, Carol, behind closed doors, has a lot of attitude. She's not happy with herself at all. She can be short with people and everything like that. And so, on the day when the hive mind takes over and everybody has the same personality, everybody's saying the exact same thing, Carol is so confused. So she's in for a loop, a roller coaster. So she drives home in panic, gets on her phone, is talking to someone through the TV screen, and says, "What the fuck? What is going on? Why is everybody so happy for some reason? Like, it's just so fucking weird. Like, what's going on?" And so they say to her, like, you know, everything, how they joined together. And so they say, you're somehow immune to us. We don't know why. You're just immune to joining us. But we're also trying to think of ways to get you to join us. But if you need anything, Carol, you let us know. Whether it's food, supplies, if you need a plane ride to get from where you are to this place, just let us know. And we'll be happy to help you, Carol. We just want to make you happy. And yeah, so you're just confused. Are the hive really bad people? Or are they just trying to be nice? Like, you just don't know. And so Carol just thinks this is all weird, like, I have to fix this somehow, because she tries to get other people who are immune to the hive to try and get her to help, but they say, we like it this way. You know, there's no judging, there's no violence. Let's keep it this way. Carol is on her own, at least for the entirety of the show. Carol is just struggling as she's finding out secrets about the hive. She's also trying to figure them out, like, how do I reverse all of this? To me, Carol is the reverse version of what Vince has done from his previous two main leads. Because, as we saw, Walter White, Jimmy McGill, they start off as decent people, but then became bad people. But then you have Carol, who starts off as kind of a bitch to becoming something where she has to save the world. She has to save mankind. That's what we call a hero. Rather you want to root for Carol or not, you understand that why she has to do this. I mean, how could you not root for Carol? Because Carol, I mean, Rhea Seehorn does an amazing job portraying Carol, this miserable but also emotional person. Like, she's drinking more, she's trying to get her head around things by finding out everything, even if it's something so dark and grim. Over here we have Zosha, and this is a really tricky character to talk about in this video because clearly 95% of the actors play the same character, which is they, we, or whatever. And so Zosha is the one that represents the hive the most because this is the one that has the most screen time, the one that Carol interacts with the most. When Carol learns something about the hive, it's through Zosha. Like, Zosha answers any of Carol's questions. So you say to yourself sometimes that this is just the shell that was Zosha. So who was Zosha? Like what was Zosha like as a person? What was her personality? What was her origin? Like, where did she come from? We don't know. I mean, we do get a couple hints here and there, especially when Zosha is first introduced into the show as one of them, but that just comes up with theories and stuff. Hopefully in the next season or so, we learn more about who Zosha was. Like, did she have a good life? Did she not have a good life? I want to know who Zosha was. And can Carol save Zosha? Because out of all the people in the hive, this is the one character that we want Carol to save the most. Bring back the real Zosha. And then we have Monosos. He is another survivor that is immune to the hive. But what makes him a bit different from Carol is that he isolates himself from the hive. So whenever he gets food delivered, he just dumps it to the side and just takes food, like cat food, and eats it. It's so gross, but it shows you that Monosos doesn't want any favors from the hive whatsoever. And so when he hears that Carol is trying to reverse everything, he feels motivated to go out and meet up with her in Albuquerque, and he goes on this little journey. Well, not little journey. Like, he travels all the way from Paraguay all the way through South America, and it's just crazy how he does it without taking anything from the hive. Even if it's given to him on a silver platter, he thinks of these guys as thieves, invaders. He thinks they're evil, and he might be right, but the way he goes about it. Another great quality of the show is the cinematography. Now, remember those shots in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul where they would put a camera in a certain spot and a certain place would look really big, like, say, a parking garage? Or how about when the camera would be pointed at a metal surface, like a trash can, and you can see the reflection of the main character? Well, you're going to get plenty of shots like that in Pluribus, because those types of shots are like a work of art. I really appreciate those shots a lot. And another thing that I do like about this show is how this show does take time. It does get a little slow at times. I get that. That might be one of the only flaws with this show. But sometimes slow burns are also good. Like, I don't know if I would say I'm mixed on slow burns, but the great thing about slow burns is that it helps you understand the characters more, the world, the introduction, everything like that. Like, say, take Better Call Saul, for example. Like, some people did not like the first 2 seasons because they thought it was slow. But personally, I liked them because, I mean, we were getting to know Jimmy and his relationship with his brother Chuck, with Kim, and just everything like that before we got into some really big life-changing stuff for these characters. And so I feel like that's what Pluribus is doing, where we're getting to know Carol, we're getting to know how she interacts with the hive, especially Zosha. We get to know Monosos just before he begins his journey. Like, those are the types of scenes that I like, as long as we get to know the characters. But if it's something where, like, it just puts the story on hold and we learn nothing, then yeah. Because I think in the episode Got Milk or whatever, that was the only episode where I thought, like, okay, like, can we get somewhere with this, please? Like, that was the only episode where I thought, like, this is taking way too long. We are not learning a thing at all. Except towards, like, the cliffhanger, which you'll have to see that episode for yourself. I mean, it did pay off, but still, took way too long. But other than that, though, I mean, Pluribus is good for a first season. Probably, like, one of the best first seasons I've seen in a long time. If I were to rate this right now, it would probably be about a 9 out of 10. I mean, I can't say it's the best show right now. I cannot say that, because I feel like we would have to get a couple more seasons for us to say that. I feel like it's too early, like too premature. So, but as just this one season, like I said, 9 out of 10. It was just that good. Like, it was horrifying to see at times, but it was also just enjoyable to watch. And it makes you wonder what's gonna happen next. Like, can Carol save the world? That's the hook of this show. Enough for you to watch the next season. But the one thing I fear the most about this show is, when are we getting season 2? Because even though it's announced, there has been no announcements that they have started filming yet. So that's what scares me, because we're in an age where a lot of shows that are streaming take a long time between season 1, season 2, and then when season 2 airs, it takes another couple years or so. So, I mean, it's just like with the Star Wars Ahsoka show, where people are still waiting for season 2. So I don't see why we have to wait that long for Pluribus. I mean, it doesn't look that expensive to make. I mean, I can understand special effects for sci-fi shows for maybe Ahsoka, but again, with Pluribus, like start now. Please, Vince, start now. Like, I am begging you, man. Well, anyway, guys, what did you think of this show, if you've seen it? Or are you thinking about watching it? Just let me know your thoughts down below. I mean, you already know why you should watch it if you haven't. Just let me know. And don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget my book is in the description down below, because I want to be a successful author just like Carol. Yeah, Carol, you inspire me. I mean, that's good for a main character from Vince's works. And yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you. Oh, don't forget to subscribe so you can join us. See ya.